Hello YouTube and welcome to Go Girl Gaming's coverage of the game Arche Age. On this channel I'll be covering housing, farming, crafting, auction house use, and trading. For this video I just want to touch on a variety of different topics as I've learned things as I've been experiencing the game. One is I want to do a short update on the Beehive. This is a moist Beehive, so this is basically day 2, I believe, of having the Beehive up. It is still not, or yeah, it is. I can collect honey now, but I will not, as you can read here, I will not, or I will get more honey rather if I wait until the next phase. When you get to the last phase, which is day 5, it won't tell you that. It'll just say, you can harvest your honey now. And I had previously reported that you get 28. That is not automatic. When I first harvested my Beehive on day 5, I only got 24. So it's, I would say at this point, between 24 and 28, and it may even be based on your husbandry skill. Not sure. My guildmate, who has a significantly higher husbandry skill than I do, when he harvests his Beehive, he says he gets 28. I have a significantly lower husbandry skill, and so far I've only gotten 24, but I'll see in a few days when I harvest it again. So right now my hive is on about phase 2. There'll be phase 3, and then it'll be at the end. Phase 3, I believe, is sweet acorn, and none of these are, well, there might be one in the back that's showing it. Yeah, this is one of my guildmates in the back. His is on sweet acorn status. Oh, this says prosperous. I haven't seen that status. His is ready. Notice that there is no indicator with regards to if you wait a little bit longer, blah, 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 blah. So this one is ready, but I've also seen them in this state where it basically says sweet acorn Beehive and it's not ready. This is what they look like pretty much when you first put them down. It's the alluring, and then of course moist again, which is what mine was. And it just tells you to wait, and then you can get more honey. What you get if you do it at this phase, I do not know because I'm not going to do it. But you can believe it's between 4, which is the absolute lowest that you get without a queen, and 28. So somewhere between there, and probably more on the low side than the high side. So that's where it is with regard to the beehives. Also want to point out that when it talks about wearing, so I'm going to go closer again, wear a veiled hat to protect yourself against bee stings. I have gotten stung, and basically what happens is for X amount of seconds when you get stung, you run slower. Then it goes away. That's it. You get a slowing movement debuff, and that's it. So that is that for the beehive so far. The other thing I want to talk about briefly is PvP zone cycling. The only reason that I'm talking about it is because it affects trade going that way. So what I had said on a previous video was that the cycling was, I had read, and I don't make this crap up, I had read in a article that the cycling was based both on time and on number of kills, and the way you decrease the time was by increasing the number of kills. Since then, I have not been able to find that article nor any reference to any time basis on PvP zone cycling. It's all based on kills. Now, I've seen different numbers of kills. Some say 30 to go from phase 1 to phase 2 and 50 to go from phase 2 to phase 3, and I've also seen articles that say nope, it's a straight 100 to go from phase to phase to phase. And by the way, it's strictly east-west. That's the only consistency I've gotten, is that it is a straight east-west, not same side, and no mention of pirate either. But pirates are generally not really fleshed out, I guess, unless you are one. So if you want to know more about pirates, I would say check check YouTube or whatever for somebody that actually lived that life, so to speak. But I wanted to make that correction. If I find out something different, I will speak on that. Because again, the cycling of the PvP zones is what opens up or restricts more different types of trade packs. And in particular, for example, Hell Swamp. Hell Swamp is very lucrative because, particularly on the Western continent, but I see plenty of Eastern continents coming over to do this trade run whenever Hell Swamp goes into peace. But it is very lucrative gold side on the Western continent because it's the farthest area south. So if you go to Gwenoid or if you go to Souls Reed, that is going to bring you a hefty profit with regard to the different the two different trade packs that you can make from Hell Swamp. So cycling definitely makes a difference. The other thing that I found that is odd is that Karsic Ridgelands does not have a trade pack, and I have no idea why. It doesn't, unless they added it in the last patch. But when I checked, there is no Karsic Ridgeland trade pack. So there you have it. Which is, again, odd because all of the Harani zones have one. Aurora, I do not know, to be honest, if it has a trade pack. I don't know. So when I find out, I'll definitely report on that. The next thing I want to talk about is keeping an eye on the auction house because of the things that have happened in game. You will see, if you haven't already, seen some significant upheaval in certain items on the auction house. First is when they brought out, and I will go to them, these, I believe it's the striped Archeum supply chest. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's the flashy racing kit, but oh yeah, it is. It says it right there. Okay, so if you get the flashy racing kit, and that's what a lot of people have been doing, you get the opportunity to get a rumbling Archeum tree. And that opportunity happens more times than not from what I've seen, because I have seen a ton of these rumbling Archeum trees, especially when they first came out a few days ago, all over the place. The significance of that is that they can produce, and they produce it with some frequency, a Thunderstruck tree. So, on my server, Thunderstruck trees before these boxes came out were going for about 1,200 gold a pop. They are now going for about 200 gold a pop. So for those who were making serious money by getting that rare drop Thunderstruck tree, you're gonna have to wait a while because there's a flood of them and they're only going for about 200. And you best believe that there are some smart people out there who have gotten some extra Thunderstruck trees, as in ones that they're not using to build the farm wagons and the cars and all that kind of stuff. They're just socking them away so that when the price goes back up, they'll be able to take care of that. So there is the volatility, a good example of the volatility of the auction house. Another thing is that because so many people are buying those, what are they called again? Flashy racing kits to get the rumbling Archeum trees, fewer people are buying things like workers' comp potions, Apex, tax certificates. So the price of those things are actually going up. Tryon announced in the forums, I think it was Scapes announced that they didn't foresee what a impact that the Archeum, the rumbling Archeum trees would have on the economy, and they apologize. Yeah. And so they are coming off in the next patch. So buy more now. At least that's the impression that I get. So you've been warned. Buy them now because they're coming off in the next patch. whenever that is. So, the other thing that I want to talk about are a couple of new items that my guildmate has put in his crafting house here. And I basically just want to show you what they look like because I can't do a thing with them other than show you what they give you. One is the experimental crucible. The experimental crucible will give him the an increase in his alchemy just by it being here. I'll show you under alchemy. It is a special alchemy good. It is the second, so he already has high alchemy. And it will give him a 1500 boost to his alchemy when he comes in here to perform alchemy. It is not a cheap thing to make. Not only do you need the design, but you also need Nuri forest lumber, which requires mysterious garden powder, a very, very, very rare drop. This stuff, at least on my server, is running about I think like 20 gold a pop. And then also the viscous glossy oil, which requires a overseas trip, or of course a trip to the auction house to get the rock salt stabilizer. So it's not the cheapest item to build, but that's what it looks like. So I definitely wanted to show off there what it looks like. Kind of cute. But you can also do stuff with it, and the thing that you can do with it is create this unstable solution, which colors swirl within this unstable liquid, which smokes and bubbles as if it is about to explode. It's chiefly used in crafting special furniture. And the one item that it says it does is, if your alchemy catalyst reacts successfully with this package of ingot decor items, you'll receive a special golden decoration. Ta-da. The next thing I want to show you is the gem cutter's bench. So again, I'm just going to go in. Nicely done as far as artwork goes. And with this, I don't recall what it's under, so I'm just going to gem then. Okay, it's under handicrafts, and it will increase your handicraft proficiency by 1500. Again, this is only the person who owns it, because you could probably build it and sell it. I've been trying to get my guildmate to make me the alchemy potion rack, but again, mats. So with this, you can build, or I should say craft, in addition to its handicraft bonus, you can also craft the trinket egg, which, as you can see, requires, for the most part, basic mat, although the beautifully colored fabric can be a bit of a challenge, because it requires small root pigment, requires the charcoal stabilizer. Other than that, you're okay. And then the golden egg, which is a very, very, very rare drop from chickens. Very rare. So that is the gem cutter's bench. He's also added, last time I showed you guys in here, he only had the moonlight salvage forge. He now also has the sunlight and the starlight. This is the sunlight, the other one is the starlight. And just to show you a little bit of that, this is where you can do your reforging. So if you have a bunch of failures, and you will, you can then take it over to the reforger, depending on whether it's a weapon, a piece of armor. So the sunlight is for weapons, moonlight is for armor, as you can see there. And then the starlight is for jewelry. You can take your misses to the reforging forge after you deconstruct them with an Evanstone, and then make another attempt at it. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that attempt is successful, but I'd have to double check. So that is pretty much it for this video. Just again wanted to cover a few different items that have been going on in the game and things that I've learned as I've gone on in the game. So I hope you found the information useful. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.